Hi everyone, a very good evening to all of you. So welcome back to another great session. So first of all, I thank everyone for having allocated your precious time to be present here today. So yes, I'm pretty sure that most of y'all might already know about me since y'all have been here for this seminar for the last couple of weeks. But let me introduce myself to those who are new to this seminar. All right, so I'm Ms. Zulfa Irzam, lecturer, and I've completed my degree in business administration, and I'm currently reading for my master's in the same field. So yes, guys, so today what I have planned to talk is based on the topic of value your time. So time is among the very few things that once lost can never be recovered. So think about it, guys. The average life of a person is just a reservoir of 2.4 billion seconds, or 75 years in the first world nations, where life expectancy is high. But the situation is worse in third world nations. So each passing second, our reservoir sheds time, just like an hourglass. So unfortunately, most people, they don't realize how precious time is until in later years of their lives. So, money lost can be recovered. Trust broken can be amended. Opportunity lost can be replaced by another opportunity. However, when time is lost, it has gone forever. So, what makes time very precious, guys? That we have to make the best out of it. Ever heard this phrase, time stands still for no man? Well, it is clear that time is always in motion. It does not stop for no one, whether you're rich or poor, you're famous or an ordinary man, or for normal men or women. Each person is given 24 hours a day to either utilize it or waste it away. So time waits for nobody, but it gives us equal duration to follow our dreams or waste them. Since it cannot be contained, we are only gifted with the power of memory to capture all the great moments that made our lives worthwhile. And secondly, remember, guys, time is priceless. You have probably heard this saying, the best thing in life are for free. So same goes with the time. It is the best gift that life has to offer us. You cannot put a monetary value to time. You cannot redeem it with any form of money or property. If that were the case, then many wealthy men would have traded their $1 billion to enjoy more time on this lovely earth. So people actually say that they are buying time to mean that they are delaying the inevitable. The truth of the matter is that they are wasting their precious resources not doing something that they will end up doing it in the near future and in the process and waste more and more time. So according to the research that I've made, is when asked what is the biggest mistake we make in life, it is said according to many people, when I asked them, they said the biggest mistake is you think you have time. And I'm for sure that most of y'all would agree with it, isn't it, guys? So, time is free, but it's priceless. You can't own it, but you can use it. You can't keep it, but you can spend it. Once it's lost, you can never get it back. So if you look into the average person's lives, which is a 78-year-old lady or a man, we spend nearly 28.3 years of our lives sleeping. That's almost a third of our life. But still, I'm for sure at least 30% of us struggle to sleep. Am I not right? So we spend 10.5 years of our life working, but I'm for sure 50% of us want to leave our current jobs. That's because maybe you're not happy with your job. I'm for sure most of y'all in the Zoom meeting might not even like your job. So time is more valuable than money. You can get more money, but you can never get more time. We spend 9 years on television and social media. We spend 6 years doing chores. We spend 4 years eating and drinking. And there are 3.5 years on education, and 2.5 years on grooming, and 2.5 years on shopping, and once again, 1.5 years in childcare. 1.3 years commuting, and that leaves us with 9 years. So how will we spend that time? You know, Steve Jobs said that your time is limited. So don't waste it living someone else's life. So, you know, guys, there's a good news and bad news. The good news is that time flies. Okay, I mean, the bad news is time flies, but the good news is that you're the pilot. Okay, so imagine you wake up every day with $86,000, $86,400 in your bank account. Just imagine, it's an assumption. Okay, and at the end of the night, it's all gone, whether you spend it or not. And the next day, you get another $86,400. So what will we do with that? So just imagine if you're getting every day 86,400 seconds are deposited into your life account. So at the end of the day, once they're all used up, you get a new 86,400 seconds. We would never waste if it was money. Am I right? So why do we waste it when it comes to time? Those seconds are so much more powerful. So if you want to realize the value of 1 year, ask a student who failed a grade. If you want to realize the value of 1 month, ask a mother who lost her child in the final month. If you want to realize the value of 1 week, ask the editor of an online magazine. And if you want to realize the value of 1 hour, ask the couples who are in long distance relationship. And if you want to realize the value of 1 minute, ask a person who just missed a bus or a train or a plane. And if you want to realize the value of 1 second, ask a person who just missed an accident. And finally, if you want to realize the value of millisecond, ask the person who just came second in Olympics. So we think it's people wasting our time, but it's really us giving them the permission to do that. And in reality, they are two people living inside us. Don't let someone be your priority when all you are to them is an option. You know, some of us lose the people who are most important to us because we don't value their time. Inside all of us, we have two voices. One voice, it wants us to uplift, it wants us to expand, it wants us to grow. But you know, the other voice wants you to hold back, wants you to make you lazy, complacent, and restrict us from our potential. So every day, from the moment we wake up until the moment we go to sleep, inside us, there's this battle between the two voices. And guess which one wins? The one that we listen to the most, the one that we feed, the one that we amplify. So, guys, it's our choice of how we use our time. Life and time are the two best teachers. Life teaches us to make good use of time, and time teaches us the value of life. So, you know, William Shakespeare said that time is very slow for those who want it. It's very fast for those who are scared of it. It's very long for those who are sad, and it's very short for those who celebrate. And for those who love, time is eternal. So the greatest gift you can give someone is your time. Because when you give your time, you're giving a portion of your life that you will never get back. Your time is limited. So don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't get trapped by living with the resource of other people. Don't let the noise of others' opinion drown out your inner voice. And most importantly, guys, dare to follow your heart and your vision. If you don't design your life plans, the chances you fall into someone else's plan and guess what they have designed for you is not much. So time equals life. Therefore, waste your time and waste your life, or you could master your time and be the master of your life. So one day you will be alone and regret not being present when you were alive. You will regret not doing things that which really made you happy. You'll regret the moments and even that you missed. And by then it would be too late, guys. So this is the life expectancy of a human being. So keep in mind, this is just an estimated number that I came up with. Okay, it depends on where and how you live, what your lifestyle is. Okay, so this is just an assumption. So each line on this graph, on this diagram, represent 10 years. Okay, you might live shorter than this or longer than this. You really do not know about it. Okay, but what happens is that you keep on procrastinating while life passes you by. So now let me show you why time is really precious through this image. So typically, here's what happens in our reality. Foremost, we are born as a baby, we become kids, we become teenagers, and roughly in the mid 20s, we start to work. And then we work, and we keep on working until we are 60 years old, and sometimes even older than that. So you can see that most of our life, and it's very clear that the time is extremely limited. It's important to spend this time doing something that you would love or like to do, which you desire. So being a kid is good. Retiring is cool. But what about the years in between? Are you just going to waste your time? So what I'm saying is if you work for a job that you hate just for a salary and it made you more depressed, then you need to make a change in your life. You are not just born to work, pay your bills, and die. You are born for a reason. So we need to remember as humans, you are here for a reason on this earth. You're not here to simply work for a job and die, right? You're here for a bigger reason. You're here for a bigger purpose, a bigger mission. There's a reason why you're here. And the moment you start following your passion and start following your dreams and creating whatever you love and helping others, is going to lead you to a lasting legacy. And it's going to impact on everyone's life as a result. So simply realize that the moments of your time, remember you were born to live a life. And in order to live that life, you have to become the person that you were born to become. Take every chance that you get in life. Make the most of it and make sure you're happy and content with what you're doing. I'm not here to scare you, but rather to motivate you, inspire you, okay, to do that one thing that you would like to do. Now it's the time to pursue it, find it out who you are and be that person. That's what the universe has put you on this earth to be. Make all of your years starting from now until death meaningful, worthwhile, and special. So be your best. And by the way, try to experience something majestic. So if you take the clock, guys, I know the clock, that's the one which is ticking off, right? But what's actually ticking off is not the clock, it's your life. You are running out of time. You hear the clock ticking, and that's why you hear the end is nigh. You don't know how much time you have. You keep telling yourself you've got time, and then watch what happens. If you don't take hold of your life, if you don't get serious on what's going on in front of you, you're going to forfeit everything that you are born to be. So time waits for no man or woman. That clock, it's always ticking your limited time. So don't waste it. You're not going to give it everything you can, whether it's your time, your talent, or your treasure. So when it is the time to jump into the pool, when is it the time to take your training wheels off your bike? When is it the time to live your life? The answer is I don't know. Nobody knows. There is no right answer. There is no right time. But there is something called the right moment in your life. Okay, it's the right moment. However you spend your time, that tells you who you are. So stop waiting for tomorrow. Stop waiting for that perfect moment. I'm saying to you that whatever you've got to do it. Because if you don't do it, then life is going to whoop you until you surrender. Who's not going to see you accomplish your goals? Who's not going to see you blow up in your life? Who's not going to see your failures? Who's not going to see you enjoy because you are average? No, one day you're going to be great. But the problem is, guys, we think we have time and you think you have time. But actually, we don't have. So fight back your time with everything you've got. time is one of the most powerful tool that any of us will ever get, because time will never get back. You've got to have faith, and that faith gives you patience. It's not going to happen as quickly as you want. It's not going to happen overnight. Okay, there is not an hour that's going to go by. There is not a minute that's going to go back that is accounted for. So I would like to narrate a true story of this man. This is a true story of a man who doubled his income in 3 years in the marketplace, where he never had no real job, but he got a mindset of a millionaire, and he's Walter Bond. So the lesson he says that in order for you to stop wasting your time and get to the next level, you need to foremost get information. I repeat, you need to get information. Where he says he doesn't even watch television. He might go into some sporting event, but he doesn't get mad about football games, but he loves to watch football. But one thing he stresses about is he does not watch TV, because he says, according to his opinion, it's unproductive. He gets only 24 hours in a day. Like Bill Gates, like Jack Ma, like Warren, everybody gets 24 hours in a day. You get 24 hours a day, guys. And what do you do with that 24 hours? You need to get more information. You need to get that access. You need to get that flexibility. So if we talk about the most valuable time, the most valuable currency in the world, what would you say? I know you would say there are dollars, there are pounds, sterling pounds, there are euros, there is yen, and even cryptocurrencies are there. But in recent, according to research, it said the most valuable currency in the world is time. Time is the most valuable currency in the world. You cannot either create it nor destroy it. It could either be hoarded nor purchased back. So once we spend a minute, we can never get that minute back. But we can buy other people's minutes. And when we buy those, that's how corporations grow. That's how firms grow large. But some people might think it might be a bad thing. But I would rather say, I would agree if that's all what you're going to get in return. So we all have the same 24 hours in a day. There are almost 7.6 to 8 billion people around the world right now. And we all have the same 1440 minutes. Now, on a lifespan of 80 years, that comes out of roughly 42 million minutes. So my question is, how do you spend your time? Now, typically we saw that we spend third of our time in sleep, and in return we get health, energy, regeneration of ourselves, we get the focus. But then we have something called the work. We usually use most of our work, the third or more of our time, in trading time for money. But is that all you're getting for your time? Now I believe that with our time, we can maximize it and get a lot more for that. And the things that we should be acquiring is our assets, our currencies with our time, and beyond that, the financial gain. But what are those? We're acquiring knowledge, we're acquiring skills, reputation, goodwill. But how do we get this in return? The answer is we have to be present in that moment. How many times have you been somewhere and not been present in that moment? When you're present in that moment, you're able to soak up everything. Now, there are some people who tend to believe that they're underpaid. There are people who, they are being underpaid. They have this lower salary. Okay, so what they do is they try to bear up everything to get. For example, they try to be away from being fired. So these people, they are not either focused or present in their job. And now such they are robbing themselves, they're cheating themselves out of all the benefits. So how and what we spend our time on determines who we are, and it alters the future. So we know we alter the future, we change it, we make our future. So now what do you do to spend on your time? What kind of return are you getting? So I thought of focusing a little more on attention, the word attention. So do you know, guys, we have $1 trillion that is spent every year for our attention. I know y'all are clueless, but let me tell you, I know a person who spends over billions of dollars on Facebook, and he has no intention of stopping that. You know why? Think about your phone, guys. You would have played some games from your phone, right? I'm also a person that I do love to play games, but most of the games are ad driven. That is, you see a lot of advertisement popping up, and I'm for sure that most of the games, such as Candy Crush or the famous shooting games, they all account for more than 50% of all the other games. And these gaming itself drives half of the film industry since they make more than millions. I don't know if you've noticed these game ads popping up. One of them is called the Super Bowler ad. It pops up just for 30 seconds, this ad, okay? And it makes over $5 million. That doesn't even count the cost of actually creating the ad. Okay, it's just made to run the ad, but it makes $5 million. So what I mean is that the corporation, the firms know that the most valuable thing of you is your time and your focus and your attention in that time. So we are easily paying it for them. So know what you're spending your time on. Know what you're getting in return. Never ever waste your time again. Now the next thing that I wanted to focus is that one thing or another, but without balance, you can end up being in trouble. So imbalance your time on what you focus on. The longer you have the balance, the greater the damaging fact it will have in your lives. So time is measured by minutes, hours, days, years, and so on. So it helps you to make a good habit of structuring your day-to-day activities, tasks when performed in accurate time. So it's going to be productive and it will be profitable. So it's highly recommended to you not to waste any moment of your life because time once passed cannot be taken by any means. It's necessary to realize that many of our future troubles can be avoided by taking actions punctually. Have you ever heard this famous proverb? A stitch in time saves nine. The statement actually reflects the importance of sorting a problem on time before it spreads. Time has no start, no end either. However, being aware of what time is going ensures that you will never be late for appointments. Time does not wait for anyone, and it keeps on moving. If you waste your precious time, inevitably it will waste you. Whether it's about resting or working or doing your chores of life or anything, we need time in every sphere of life. Not only these fundamental situation, guys, but also to understand some people, we need time. Everyone has 24 hours in a day, and it is very crucial to make the best productive use of these golden hours without wasting even a single second. So without postponing your work for future, it's better to finish it today. It will help in reducing your piling up of workload. So wasting your time means you're wasting yourself, even your future. If you have spent your valuable time means you have lost everything. Many people, they live a very unusual life. They spend their time playing games, eating and, performing other lazy activities. They never think about what they are doing and how they're utilizing their precious time. So the worst part is that they never regret the ways of wasting time. However, we should learn from our mistakes and inspire ourselves from others' success. So punctuality is key. This evades tension and inconvenience. It provides tremendous opportunity. When you operate it appropriately, will give you greater outcomes. So take your time to plan out things, including what to do in your breaks and then prioritize. I know some people might think that it's a wastage of time. However, in reality, setting your goals protects you a lot of time. It is the time which gives us prosperity, happiness, and everything that we deserve. So managing time properly enhances our ability of decision making. So effective way of managing time is to plan your day-to-day activities and set your goals. And according to Charles Darwin, he said, a person who dares to unuse even an hour has not yet learned the value of life. So time is well thought as valuable as gold. Never let a minute pass without making it memorable in your life. Time is a powerful thing which, grows you. It can increase you. It can even decrease and destroy you. There's no limit, no boundary on time. It's not about everything, but think what motivates you. Think and mark the crucial part of your daily life. Once yesterday time passes, you cannot change it, and no one has access to tomorrow's time. The only thing which we can do is to live the present time plus manage it efficiently. Time is never going to repeat itself. Instead of wasting your precious time, inspire yourself to utilize it properly. So it's better for you to get up and do what you want. So I've got some ways to adopt some good habits in your life to value your time. So firstly, what I would like to say is slow down yourself. Slow down to value your time. So slow down to get more of your time. I know it may seem counterinitiative, but when you actually slow down, you'll find that you can do whatever you do becomes more meaningful. Imagine for a second, guys, that you're driving through a beautiful forest and your stereo is blasting a new song. You're talking to a friend in the passenger seat, and before you know it, you passed right through the forest. And it was like you weren't there at all. Now imagine, instead of driving in that noisy car, you're walking through the same forest. The summer is changing to fall, and the leaves fall around you. You take a deep breath of warm October air. So your walk is 10 times more meaningful because you slowed down. You were able to notice the sights, the sound, the smell around you, and what you were doing became much more meaningful. So slowing down brings to how you spend your time. Whether you're walking through a forest, you're spending time with your loved ones, you're playing an instrument, or you're working on a report at work, try to slow down and enjoy every single moment. And then this is one of the most difficult thing I would say is stop using your phone. All right. So in order to become more productive in your life, in order to value your time, firstly, I would recommend is to stop using your phone. I mean, the researchers, they say it is better you avoid your phone, especially when you wake up early in the morning. I know that we all won't be doing that. It's not possible. Remember, guys, we all are used to the way of opening up the phone in the morning, checking your social media, your news feeds, your emails, and then you get lost in the notification and the noise, and potentially negativity grows within it. So try not to connect with your gadgets. Keep it as far away from you in the morning at least. So researchers say that the more you use your phone, the higher the risk of addiction. So the study says that an average person uses 3.6 hours per day. 13% of them are they say they are addicted. So you can use your phone in the night time, but in order to avoid your phone in the morning, you need to turn off your notifications. I know checking a single notification can turn into half an hour of phone browsing, isn't it? You're not alone. It's all too easy to get sucked up into the social media through one alert. So if you disable all the unnecessary notifications, that is less likely to happen. Even muting your device to stop audio alerts can end that impulse. We all have to check our phones whenever the phone chirps. And you can also find out how much you're using your phone. If you like to shock yourself into reducing your phone time, maybe you can use some hard statistics where you can use various apps such as Quality Time for Android phones and Moment for iOS. You can monitor your phone usage and inform you how many hours you are spending looking at your screen. So these apps will allow you to set alerts to remind if you are using your phone too much. And please don't use your phone as your alarm clock. Okay, so try to keep it away from your bedroom. How many of us, I know, as we set our alarms, we check our phones just before we go to sleep. And then how many of us, once the alarm has gone off, we check our phones the first thing in the morning. So removing our phone from the room can also remove some overall temptations. And next, what I would ask you all to do is to structure your free time. According to the researchers, they say Sunday is the unhappiest hour in America. That's because the time people are very least productive at that time. And according to this research, people are oddly more motivated and focused at work because of the structure of the work. So when we don't structure our work, we either spend it on pointless stuff or just waste without much care or focus. So structuring your time, even your free time, is proven to make you more motivated, focused, and ultimately happier because it gives you a direction and a purpose. So I know it's totally counterinitiative, but when you have a purpose behind your action, you will feel much more productive and happier, even if that purpose is to do nothing for an hour or two. So next, one of the easiest way is to try keeping a time diary or a post-it note. So keeping a post-it note or a time diary on how exactly you spend your time throughout the day is one of the most powerful ways to discover how you can better use your time. This allows you to see the patterns and trends on how you spend your time. It allows you to see what activities impact your productivity, whether you're getting a good night's sleep affects your motivation the next day. So it makes you a second guess to yourself when you want to spend your time on low leverage stuff. And it lets you to see whether you can spend your time matches with your priorities. For example, let's consider family is very important, but you spend every night watching TV. So when you keep a time diary, it's much easier to make changes in how you spend your time because you can see right in front of you exactly what changes you need to make when and how you need to make. So keeping a time diary is exactly how you spend your time. Seems really simple in the surface, but it provides a profound result when you actually do it. So you can also maintain a post-it note that you can keep it next to your bedside, where you can write some motivational quotes like what are you grateful for, and that message can start your day with different thoughts. So researchers have shown that when you're presenting gratitude, you can't be anywhere else. So when you're having a grateful thought, you can't have an anxious thought. That's same with a negative thought. You can't have a negative thought. So this is so powerful way to begin your day. So grab a poster or a note and write a question on it that you want to answer the first thing in the morning. I'm for sure most of you would like to do this because it brings more awareness, more consciousness, and it's a reminder for the beginning of the day, which sets up and look at your life as an observant. And next, which I would like to say is do less. You know, the Apple company is one of the largest and most successful company in the world for one big reason. That's because, you know, they do less. They only produce 4 main product lines where the Apple has iPod, iPhone, iPad, and Mac with some software support. That's pretty much. And it's making $431 billion company that puts all of its weight behind 4 small product lines. So simple as that, take your life similar to it because it's incredibly powerful. When you do fewer things, you spread your time over less. So you have much more of yourself to give to everything you do. I think one of the best ways to boost yourself and focus is to become a better person, and use your time is to do less. So you can question the elements of your life and constantly ask yourself if you're doing too much. Doing less may seem, I know, counterinitiative because it might say you need to do more on a day, but it boosts your focus and success because you can invest more of yourself into things when you do less. And you need to focus on high leverage activities. You might have heard of this rule, 80-20 rule, which says 80% of your results comes from 20% of your effort. So I like looking at this 80-20 rule in a different way. Every action you take is either high or low leverage. Okay, the higher the leverage activity, the more you'll get out of small amount of effort. So some people, you know, they invest their time in low leverage activities like, you know, watching television, for example. If you watch 3 hours of television a day, that is an average is more than 4 hours. So if you live your life until 80 years old, you spend 10 years of your life watching TV. And that time you can never get back. You could have invested this time into a much higher leverage activity like reading a book, having a coffee with your loved ones, or exercising, writing, meditating, which could be done instead of watching a television, which is unproductive. So when you invest your time in high leverage activities, you can cut the craft from your life and make sure what you invest your time in the activities produce the greatest return of your time. And finally, what I would recommend you all to do is think about what matters the most. Everyone spends their time differently. One person may invest a lot of time into developing a successful career, while another person might invest into building a rewarding family life. So take the time to think about what you really are, what you truly care about, and invest your time in what you care about. This seems simple advice, but I know it's hard to adopt. A lot of people, they wing their way through each day, not thinking about whether how they're going to spend their time will produce meaningful results. So I think the only way to make sure you get the most of your time is to start with what matters the most to you and work backwards to your actions to figure out how you should act. So remember, guys, time is the only thing we have right now. There's only one thing in our lives that we can't require. I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about material items. I'm not talking about anything, but it's just time. And it's so unique concept, a unique idea, because when it is utilized correctly, it contains ingredients to success, to happiness, to prosperity, and all the things that we want. But at the very same time, if you're going to neglect your time, it leaves us with very little. Because the truth is, every morning when you wake up, you're living minutes that you will never get back. You're breathing air and you will never get that back. So it is your one opportunity to embrace this gift, and every second sees a little to slip away. So my point is that there's no moment more important or more perfect than right now. Not in a week, not after a promotion, not in your 30s, or not even when you plan to retire or relax, but it's right now. See, guys, we have this mentality that the future is going to somehow mean more than the present, right? That is, if we suffer now, if we are unhappy now, we will save the best in life for some other time. But the reality is, we don't get younger, guys. We don't get young. We don't become a kid back again. We should be working hard. Absolutely, success comes from effort, hard work, dedication, persistence. But the key is allocate your precious time to the work, to the things that makes you feel today is powerful. That is right now. You don't want it to end. Today is when you take the first step towards a thing which you want. So when you become who you want to become, no one is ever or will ever keep you from that other than yourself. So there's no ceiling, there's no limitation, there's no special requirement or any supernatural power. There's only you and what you allow yourself to accomplish. You're the gatekeeper. You have your foot on your pedal. And it is so easy to point others, blame others, to say others have made the mistakes. But it's your decision. Stick to your status quo. Because believe it or not, it is that simple. You are where you are because that's where you've decided to be. And you've accepted that as okay. So look, if you want change, then manufacture change. Create a plan. Move, transform, step out of your head and move into the real world. Think about how lucky we are to live in this day and this age where we have access to all the information. We have the dream of technology that enables us to grow. We have the freedom to pursue any path that looks appealing. Anything we could ever want is right in front of you. But the only thing is that we don't embrace it. But why? Why do we let that be? Nothing is more important in life than living that moment. Nothing makes us feel more energized, more free, more happy than following the path we meant to take. So it's all about having the courage to step over the obstacles, to face the challenges, to be uncomfortable. And at the beginning, it's tough, I know, but change is tough. Getting what you want isn't easy. There's a period of struggle, of growth. But once you get through it, trust me, you will understand what living is. This brings us right back to the concept of time. Our small existence on this planet is the greatest gift to a human being. Can't receive you by default, we have it. So don't ever let it be in vain. The future isn't when happiness someday occurs. So it's a continuation of you living every moment from the fullest. From now until your last, make every trip around the sun better than the previous. Never let a moment of sunshine, clouds, or rain deprive you of your gift. Be the best version of yourself that you can be. Live the life you were meant to live. All it takes is a simple decision, and that is value your time. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys, for spending your time for this seminar. I hope I've given some insights about the precious time, like how you can use it in a productive way. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope you all would implement in your life. And if you all have any questions regarding this, you can post it in the chat box. I will reply to you. Yeah, and before I end it, I also want to say that we as an institute B-TIC are here to give you all the opportunity to showcase your talents through B-TIC talks. So if you all are interested to give out your public speech, if you want to inspire people, you can use the link which is shown on the image here. You can register yourself to the link www.btic.uk, so you can register it. We would definitely give you the opportunity to speak up to the public and inspire others. Yes, Rinas. Yes, next week, every Saturday, we will be having a seminar. So yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Sylvia. No, Aisha, we will send you a different link